So today I'm really excited about this lesson, and I'm really enjoying uh, Florence Scoville Shin's work. Her work is so, and I mean, she's going back from was it 1925, and what I realized is a lot of people learned a lot from her, and it all came back to Bible principles. And she talks about when we start our day, it should always be started with God and good. So speaking good, taking life into ourselves. So again, I'm so grateful for this topic. And your word is your wand. The spoken word is law. And I knew this lesson was the lesson. And I guess this is why I'm emotional. Because when I put the post out there, Kim Jordan emailed, she was at a conference and she texted me and she said, your the graphics reminded me of abracadabra. And I said, well, how did you know that? This is what I responded back to her. Because at the top of my notes, I had abracadabra. And what does abracadabra means? And we see it as kids, right? As you know, I grew up in Trinidad, so we had a lot of magic shows. And they would talk about the magician would always with his wand, pretend this is my wand, abracadabra, and the rabbit would jump out of the hat, and what would happen if that was our words? Everything we say, it just happens. Okay, so what does abracadabra means? The meaning of abracadabra is I will create as I speak. So when I learned that, even for the magician, he understands the power of words. Okay, I will create as I speak. So that was really powerful. And when she mentioned it, I said, I know this is the topic because that was just confirmation that I know you didn't see my notes. And so I guess it made me even more excited. So again, so let's think about a moment about if every word you spoke was creating your future. Just think about that. How much words do we say a day that doesn't serve us, right? And the truth is, our words reveal what we believe. They shape our identity, they influence our actions, and over time, they become reality. So the life we live in now, we're experiencing now, is the life we created with our words. So going back to it just brought me to believe it or not, right? That there was a show called Believe It or Not. So today I want us to become even more intentional about our words and what we speak in over our life. We just love this phrase. Every word is like a seed. Napoleon Hill, I'm still reading, I'm finishing up Think and Grow Rich is a pretty, quite a bit of reading, but you got to read it slow. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches us that our personality creates our personal reality. I'm going to say that one again because that one is powerful. Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches that our personality creates our personal reality. Florence Scovel Shin tells us, your word is your wand. They're all talking, saying the same thing, the same truth, but in a different way. So your subconscious mind accepts what you consistently repeat with emotion. If every day we say, I can't, I'm overwhelmed. I heard today the word challenge. I heard today the word trying. Eventually the subconscious mind accepts it as truth. But if we intentionally begin by saying, I am capable, okay, I am growing, I am becoming, okay, those seeds, I'm planting the seed that that will grow. So today we grow with strength. I'm trying to move some stuff around on my screen. Good. Okay. Our minds begin to kept looking for evidence to support the words that we speak. So what are we growing with our words? So what are we speaking? So this is some scenarios here. So instead of saying, I am overwhelmed, we can say, I am learning. Instead of saying, nothing works for me. How many times we say that? Nothing works for me. And I hear people say all the time, even sometimes it comes from me. Everything is working together for my good. I have to. What about if we say, I get to? Okay. So we saying, okay, I have to go to work. We get to go to work. I have to go to church. We get to go to church. I'll never. Well, what about it's on my way? It will never happen. It's on my way, on its way. I'm just trying. How about I'm becoming? So I know trying is a big one, you know? So it's what about if you say, I'm becoming? So those are words. So I'm sure as you say these words, you think about it, you could feel the difference because there's energy in the words. So our words either reinforce limitation or possibilities. They either create fear or faith. The words we choose today become the beliefs we carry tomorrow. And going back to the word also supports this. Okay, it goes back to, and we talked about some Proverbs 18:21 this morning, and also Proverbs 10. Okay, so this principle isn't new. Long before personal development books, God gave us this wisdom. The Bible tells us that life and death are in the power of the tongue. It's not in our circumstances, it's not in our bank account, not in our past, our words. Jesus continually emphasized speaking with faith. When we align our words with God's promise, our faith grows stronger than our fears. So going back to using the word, because God don't lie. So whatever we're going through, we could go back and use God's words. And we could say in our ask, well, God, you said in Proverbs 18:21, death and tongue is in the power of death and life is in the power of the tongue. So I'm speaking these words. This is what I'm asking you for, Father God. So you frame it to whatever your ask is and use his word. Go back to what he's saying. He also says, whosoever says and does not doubt, it shall come to pass. So if you approach him without doubt and you go in with faith, go back to, well, yes, it will come to pass. God, you said it will come to pass if I do not doubt. So by your words, you will be justified, and by your words, you will be condemned. So it goes right back to the responsibility falls back on me, my words. So when we align our words with God's promise, our faith grows stronger than our fears. So just so in my post this week, I kind of shared a little bit about my story. And growing up, so anyone, who's from the Caribbean or even here in who was born here, I remember as a kid, uh, uh, laying because every school had a playground. And I would remember laying on the grass and I would look up and I would see a plane and I would be dreaming about being on that plane. And that stayed with me. So that was a dream that started from a little girl. So every time I would see a plane in the sky, I'd be like, I'm gonna be in that plane. Okay. And I'm gonna always think about America because my Bernadette who was on here a little while ago, I don't think I admitted her. Oh, I don't know if she's still here. But I remember I slide jumped. When they left and they came to America, my best friends were gone. And I started dreaming, okay, one day I'm going to be coming to America. And here it is, was about maybe 10 years later, I was able to join them because her mother was like a second mother to me. So that's how close we were. So all of that, just that dream, just the dream and having that desire, and using the words that, I'm coming to America, so it works. I am telling you, it so works because I can tell you another story. And I don't know if Jean is here, but when before I went into management, I was a supervisor, and I said a supervisor for 18 years, and fear kept me stuck because I did my first interview and I was so scared. I was about a year in title, and I said, okay, I'm going into the first level management. I tell you, that interview, my knees was buckling, the words couldn't come out, and I was like, I am done. I'm not doing any more interviews. And it took me 18 years. And and I needed that 18 years because I learned a lot. And because I got the job that was really I had the skills for. So I had 18 years to develop that skill. And the only reason, well, not the only reason, one of the main reasons that I went for that job is that I didn't like what was happening. And I said, I can add more value to this position. And I went for it. And I would do my affirmations every day. I had my affirmations on 3x5 cards. I would have it in my bag, I'd have it in my drawer at work, and I would say, okay, I am the best superintendent. I am the superintendent. I am the new superintendent for the crew office. I was very specific. I would be walking, going to the park, and I would be saying my affirmations out loud. But I can hear, but because I wanted to hear it from my outer ear. And lo and behold, I interviewed, and I didn't have all the qualifications because we always go in stages. So I skipped a level of management. I had the gall to put in for a job. Okay, but I was like, I'm gonna leave it up to God. And I did, and guess what? I got the job. So, and not too many people would skip a level of management, not with a TA. So you got to go from deputy before you go to full superintendent. So I went from supervisor to full superintendent. But God prepared me for this 18 years. So going back to everything is in God's timing. So ask and just let it go. Okay. And listen, because when the right time came for me to put in for that job, I put in and got it. And I think I was one of the best superintendents they ever had. I think I was. So yeah, so going back to that, so going back to your words have power. Yes, our words have power. So just to talk about a little bit about and this is why we do what we do in the challenge, the secret to manifesting your intention. We focus on fasting, okay, visualization and gratitude. And today I'm excited about adding a fourth practice, which is speak life. So the fasting creates the space, the visualization teaches the subconscious, gratitude raises our awareness, and our spoken word gives direction to all three. So yes, so here it is, our words. Okay, when we think about gratitude and we're always grateful, God is going to give us more things to be grateful for. When we think about identity, our identity, who are we becoming? When we focus on that, we're going to become that. And because the actions is going to come. So it's really using our words, okay, because the words has to come before the feelings. Because the more we say it, the more we're going to believe. Because we have to believe and then another thing Florence talks about, she talks about when we set a goal, sometimes that goal is so big, we might feel that flinch. And she said, there's goal in that because that flinch shows us that where the gap is, where we at and where we want to go. So now our subconscious is resisting to say, well, who do you think you are? Okay, you want to be a what? A multimillionaire? And what do you have in your account? Negative? I'm just saying, okay? But to the subconscious mind is going to resist. Okay, but if you continue to do it, Okay. Eventually, your subconscious mind is going to say, yeah, this is for real. And it's going to start drawing into you or leading you to what you need to accomplish your goal. So when we feel that flinch, okay, it's okay. It just shows us that, okay, I got to work a little harder on my words and I got to, because you got to say this stuff over and over. So now going back to, I'm going to mention the name Trump. And I'm saying Trump for a reason because of the fact that how many times we hear Trump talk about he gonna be the president, he's gonna be this, and because he says it all the time. Okay, so it doesn't matter who you are, it works. Okay, so whatever we say is gonna come to pass. So I'm thinking about him, and I said, here he is. How many times he filed a bankruptcy? Okay, 7 times. And every time he became back a multimillionaire. And because of his thought process, his words, and what he's saying. So go back to, let's think about what we're saying, because we can see this, that it works. Our words have power. Our words create, it's have the creative force. So going back to, yes, let's think about what we're saying to ourselves, and listen to the feedback. So my challenge for you this week is to speak life for the next 7 days. Just focus on speaking life. Before, when you speak to yourself, ask yourself, does this create fear or faith? Does this align with the person I'm becoming? Would you like this sentence? Would I like this sentence to become my future? And as I say that, another thing we can do, and I would really advise this, for the next 48 hours, say for the next 24 hours, just listen to what's coming out of your mouth. Just listen. And as you listen, and as you listen, don't judge it, don't anything, just listen to what you're saying. So you might be saying something like, I'm trying. I'm using that word, right? And because we say it so often, you can say, just listen to it and just make a mental note. And just throughout the next 24 hours, how many times I've said words that does not serve. Don't try to change it. Don't try to correct it. Just listen and be aware. And then in the next 24 hours, okay, when those words come up, reframe it. So when you say, if the word I'm trying comes up, quickly, don't even give yourself grace. Don't even judge yourself. Don't judge yourself or anything. Just say to yourself, flip it, I am becoming. Because the universe don't answer right away. Thank God the universe don't answer to our words immediately. It takes repetition. It goes right back to repetition. So I want to suggest that we do this. I want us to become aware of our language. And every time we catch ourselves speaking something negative, just pause, and replace it with a sentence that aligns with what we want to be, who we want to become. So don't let fear have the final word. Choose faith, choose possibility, choose life. Remember, your words is shaping your future. So speak intentionally. And as I close, I just want us to go back to think about what Florence says. Your word is your wand. And I think we all know in times we all are manifestors because the life we live, we manifested it. So if we want to change that, we have to be very intentional about changing it on what we want. So as I just want to invite you all to say along with me together. Let's do this together. I speak life. I
I
speak
speak life,
peace.
peace,
I speak possibility.
Big possibility.
I am becoming the person God created me to be.
I am
I
becoming
I'm
the
becoming the
person
person
God
God
created
created
God
me to
created
be.
me to be.
So yes, So this week I am was so excited about this lesson, and I just want to say I hope it blessed you, and I think it was something that was needed. And it's needed all the time because our words have creative power. You know, my one of my favorite books is Hung by the Tongue, and there's another one called Your Word, the Creative Force. That's another good one. And there's skinny books that we can read in a day or so. So any feedback, and I know we went a bit over time, but any feedback and anything, encouragement you all want to share, speak live, be aware. Thank you, Natasha. Any takeaways? Well, you all just heard me rambled. Colleen said, go ahead, Colleen.
One of the statements was speak possibility.
Mm-hmm.
And on my calendar next to my bonus son, I said possibilities abound. Yeah, I have an opportunity to speak such life into him, and he just adores me. And I had imposter syndrome about that, but I receive it now, and with it comes a great responsibility. So I am built for this.
Yes. So, Colin, you said something really powerful there as well, which reminded me of something else that we got to pay attention to. When we're building out when we're working on our identity, I'm going to frame it that way. We have to be mindful of our who we spend time with, because their words also affect us, because the subconscious mind is still taking it in.
Hmm.
So, I'm not saying you have to, if most of your friends are, talking negative stuff, you just dismiss all your friends. But I would say limit your time with them
Hmm.
because it's just that your subconscious might pick it up. It's like not ambience, ambient noise. Okay, and the subconscious mind don't know right from wrong. Okay, and so if we need to, sometimes we work in an environment where it's a negative environment, and it's like, okay, but I gotta work. Okay, so we sometimes we have to really. There's so much people we have to look up to, and not even people, but we can use podcasts. Okay, to really fill that void, we can use books. It fills that void. We can find a mentor, we can find a coach, and we could be a part of this group where we can help each other. So we need not need, but we would like. It's good to have that reinforcement. Because life is going life.
Hmm.
That's just life. Colleen talked about all the deaths she's been having. Crystalline been having all these funerals as well, and also Jean has been having the funerals. So yes, life is gonna life. Okay, but going back to how are we gonna react to it? So it goes back to how we're gonna react. So I'm so grateful. Thank you for that, which reminds me. So yes, be mindful of your surrounding.
Hmm.
So you around somebody who cuss all the time. Sometimes what's what happens, you end up cussing. You say, "Oh, how did I end up doing that?"
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
just pick it up.
Hmm.
You know. So yes. So if that's it, I would like to close by saying I thank you and I appreciate you. And we're praying that send love out to each other. And Andrea is going through her thing, and we just praying, continue to pray for each other, and Olga's daughter and her husband as well. And everything's gonna work out fine. Everything is perfect. Going back to one of my mentors saying, everything is perfect and everything is improving. So yes,
Diane,
yeah,
just want to say one more thing. When those negative thoughts come, the negative speech comes out, we have a word, a magical word. We either say delete or cancel.
yes.
Cancel, cancel, cancel. And then you take, your power back with your tongue, with your word. So
That's
I
right.
just wanted to share that.
But thank you for adding that one too. Yes, cancel, cancel, cancel. Three times. There's something with the threes. Okay, three.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, cancel, cancel, cancel. And that's what I'm learning to. Florence talks about that a lot too. In our affirmations, say it three times. So
Mm-hmm.
yes. So I'm talking about I am a multimillionaire. I'm saying that, well, when I say it in sets, I say it 3 times, so throughout the day. But again, start your day. How you master your mornings is how you're going to master your day. So start your day with God and good. I love you all.
Amen. Love
Okay.
you. Thank you, Diane.
I see Queenie.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Queenie. Oh, that's who didn't sing. That's who I missed. Queenie, so we're getting ready to close out. So let's make it laser share.
Hello, everybody. I'm so sorry. I've been under the weather. This is like a last minute. Okay, since we're talking about the power of words, I have been practicing this 5 powerful thing that I say to myself. So first is I am. Second, I am thankful. Third, I trust. Fourth, I deserve. And the fifth is it's already done.
I love that. It's already done. So that's a great share, Queenie. So thank you so much. And we're praying that you feel better. You've been under the weather, you said. Praying for you to feel better. And so next week you can come back and say, I am healed. And okay. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I want to say, everyone have a great week and put in the chat, put your comments in the chat. My Facebook page, yo, please comment on my Facebook page. I want to keep that going, so thank you all and have a blessed day.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Diane.
Diane. Thank you,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.